Good afternoon, everybody. Michael Soothing here, coming to you from a on-location gig at a motel out in the Bay Area. Why am I at a motel? Well, the reason why is I have a daughter who is in labor in a hospital here, and it looks like this labor is going to drag on quite a while. So I'm staying out here until she gets to the advanced stage.
It's hard work being a baby, huh? Very hard work. It's nice. Yeah, you got a thumb in her mouth. I'm impressed.
This is the little baby, Emerald. And then I'll have my first little baby grandchild. So that's going to be kind of exciting. I don't know if I'll make an ASMR video about it because babies don't tend to be particularly soothing most of the time. There's a lot of crying. I mean, if you had to come out into this world, if you were in a nice, warm, quiet, protected, dark, ASMR kind of environment, would you want to come out into this cold, cruel world and be turned upside down and whacked on your behind, on your bum? Probably not. You wouldn't find that particularly soothing, I'm guessing. And I don't think babies do either. And then they, put a shot in their foot and stuff like that. Nurses are poking them and there's bright lights. But anyway, that's why I'm out here, is to be involved with that. So I'm in a motel room, and as usual, I'm using a very high-tech tripod device here, which is motel pillows all piled up. We're going to look at the Wall Street Journal today, because if anything is bound to relax and put you to sleep, it's going to be reading from the Wall Street Journal, don't you think? So, in case I get weak or famished from hunger, I have this bag of Cheetos here. Don't worry about the calories and diabetic part of it, because as you can see, this is it says right here, low calorie diet Cheetos. See that? It says it right there. So, by the way, isn't it interesting? Look how much those were, $1.09 for this little bag. Little tiny bag. You can get the big bag for like $2 on sale. I guess I wasn't a very good shopper, but anyway, I shouldn't eat a big bag anyway. What does this say? Made with real cheese. See there? I'm impressed, because I hate eating something that has fake cheese, don't you? What do you think fake cheese would be made out of anyway? I have no idea. Who's this guy on the front, by the way? Does anybody know who this character is? Looks a little like the Pink Panther, but it can't be that guy, because this guy has spots. Must be a leopard. Which begs the question of whether a leopard can change their spots. Is there a commercial or a Disney film or something that I'm missing? Because I have no idea who that character is. Tell me in comments, if you please. Okay, why am I talking about? I was gonna read to you from the Wall Street Journal, because I only get that when I'm at one of these hotels, you know. They're free otherwise. How much does it cost, by the way, to offset the Cheetos effect? I have here a nice orange. See, I hope it's juicy inside. Get some vitamin C to offset these. Should I do a thumbnail like this? Thumbnail? I don't know. I never do thumbnails. I just let YouTube decide what to put up. Hopefully I'll find something for dinner later besides just Cheetos. I also have, if I get thirsty, this Dasani, but I couldn't find just normal Dasani. This is sparkling berry flavor. You know, I wanted just regular water, but they didn't have it. It's a little scam. It's sort of like, we'll put 2 cents of flavoring in it and then charge you double, okay? Ooh, that's cool. I could feel it. I could feel the bubbles through my hand. Have you ever done that? I haven't. Just when I broke the seal, I could feel it on the inside. It's kind of cool. This is very ASMR-ish. Listen. The sound of the bubbles. I like that. I think we could make a whole video just on this. Maybe just let the bubbles go for 15 minutes or something. What do you think? Who needs the Wall Street Journal? We got these bubble noises. It's really cool. Yeah, I like that. I'm out of focus now. Mentally. Let's see if you can hear this better. Listen to that. It's like Rice Krispies, huh? Only better, in a way. You can hear that. I wonder how long it would go on for if we just let it. Of course, then it would be flat, and I wouldn't want to drink it if I let it go forever. But I'm tempted to relax my brain instead of reading and just let this bottle do the ASMR video for me. I'm very relaxed right now. Something about hanging around that hospital for hours and hours made me incredibly sleepy, you know what I mean, I think. All right, very nice. That's pretty good. It's not too sweet. And I like it better if it's not too sweet. Remember those old Canada Dry commercials where they used John McEnroe and he would, you know, that gnarly tennis player, and he would go, "It's not too sweet." You know, he'd be all angry and stuff. All right, let's see what the journal has to say today. Wall Street Journal. Phelps, wasn't there as famous? The Olympics has started. Does anybody watch the Summer Olympics? I'm just curious. Tell me in comments. I try to tune it in, but it seems like it's always something like pretty boring, you know, when I try to watch it, you know. underwater basket weaving or something competition while playing croquet, stuff you never even probably heard of. Oh, Japan's emperor, long in the public eye, hints at abdication. He wants to give up the throne. Long in the public eye. I don't know about you, but I have not spent a lot of time thinking about the Emperor of Japan in my life. Of course, if you were living there, maybe you would. Then I don't see a story about it. You have to go to A6. He's 82 years old, and he's a little tired, it says, so he wants to step down. And who can blame him at 82? Delta glitch snarls travel. This is just the latest in a series of airline fiascos. What was it, last week or the week before? I think it was Southwest Airlines. Thousands of flights canceled. Everything screwed up for days and days. And before that, it was what? United Airlines, I think. And before that, it was, British Airways. And it was American Airlines had a huge mess up for days. Just be prepared when you travel to spend a lot of unplanned time in airports and in cities you didn't plan to spend your time in, okay? Let's see what it says. It's always the IT system. You would think that with Google and other software companies able to figure out everything about everything within microseconds, places like the airline business would be able to track their reservation system a little bit better, just a little bit better. But they still struggle mightily. Have you had this experience too? When you go there and there's a problem, they act like they've never had the problem before. They're all on the job for the first day. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with our reservation system. I can't figure it out. I'm trying to reroute you, but I can't pull you up in the system right. That's like, haven't you guys been doing this for decades now? Why is it as if this is the first week you're in the airline business every time I'm there, right? So, anyway, jihadists, you know what? This isn't relaxing. So I'm not going to read you this story. And it shows up in the paper every day, just a different spot. So I'm not going to read it. Besides, I don't want to make all of you angry by doing a commentary on what I think. Negative rates. Negative rates. Do you know what that means? Negative rates. Big surprise. More saving. The reason they're saying big surprise is when the central banks go negative on rates, in other words, you have to pay them to keep your money in the bank. That's what's happening in Europe now. They're doing it to try to get people to spend and to borrow, but people aren't spending and they're not borrowing, so they're surprised about this. the money's all getting put into the stock market, all this easy money, which is why I believe the stock market is headed for a gigantic correction in the next year or two. It's all this negative rate, easy money. If cracking the window causes bad vibrations, it's wind throb. You never know what you're gonna... Do you see people doing this all the time with their feet out the window? I do. I always think that's just maybe a tiny bit rude and strange. I don't know why. I want them to have the freedom to stick their feet out the window, but there's something disturbing about it. Like, if you're the car behind them, right, you're downwind from their feet in the air, you know. So, let's see what they're saying here. From sports cars to sedans, drivers battle the wub. Charles Brownstein annoyance with the throbbing noise that invades the cockpit of his Porsche 911 at high speeds became so intense that he turned to an orange juice bottle for relief. He should have turned to ASMR video earbuds instead. Like millions of car drivers, including those with humbler vehicles, Mr. Brownstein couldn't handle the oppressive wub, head-exploding sensation when certain windows are rolled down. I understand this. With my car, it's the rear window. If I roll it down, I'm going, say, 60 miles per hour, which would be almost about 100 and something kilometers per hour for you people in Europe. Yeah, you get this terrible wind throbbing sensation in your ear. Okay? Anyway, he made a makeshift deflector of sturdy plastic. He's putting a piece of plastic in his Porsche 911 from the side of a Tropicana juice container, put it on the sport car's front window frame, which did just enough to divert the air from crashing into the cabin. He used a working knowledge of aerodynamics. Okay, this is getting boring, even for AS. But like I said, how does that make it to the front page of the Wall Street Journal? Is it a slow news week? You would think there's not an election or something going on. Oh, look. Trump, Clinton spar on the economy, okay? I'm not going to talk politics ASMR because I don't want to get anybody riled up when you're supposed to be relaxing like I am right now. I'm very relaxed. Theorized particles may not exist. Oh, this is a drag. A 10-year-old boy. Yeah, did you hear about that water park accident? Big, highest water park on Earth. Something went wrong in the drop. What theorized particles? A neutrino variant. Okay, this is not first page section news. This is for physicists to discuss. Did I just say physicists instead of physicists? I think I put extra S's in. And my experience with ASMR is that the S noise is kind of annoying. So I hope I'm not annoying anybody, okay? Because I don't want to annoy you. I want to relax you. I'm almost ready to go to sleep myself. In fact, I think I'm going to take a little nap after this using these pillows that the camera's sitting on. Ah, Philippine leaders' drug tactics come under fire. This is world news, okay? First we have the Japan emperor ready to abdicate. Not too far from Japan, if you recall your World War II history. Remember General MacArthur? I will return, or something like that. After Japan conquered the Philippines, the U.S. had to go back and help liberate them again. Anyway, Philippine leaders' drug tactics come under fire. This new president in the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, named something like 100 and some officials, judges, policemen, and soldiers in the government as being part of a drug business, illegal drug business. And so there's controversy about the list, you know. The fog of forever war. Well, it does seem to drag on in the Middle East, doesn't it? This is a lot of, political. I wondered why I was reading opinions, and that's because I'm on the opinion page, you know. That should have been, but like I said, it would be self-evident, except that I don't get the journal, you know, unless I'm traveling. So let's not get into politics, because we get enough of that on the TV every night. We probably get more than enough of that. And let me just say that it seems to me we could do a little better when it comes to two candidates as to who we're putting up, okay, to run against each other. Oh, now here is the story I was waiting for. This is also the story you were waiting for, because this is the most important story in the world today at this moment. And it's this one. Modi disavows hardliners on cow protection. Okay? That is the story in New Delhi that I know you were all waiting to find out about. Recent statements by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and prominent Hindu nationalists suggest the country's conservatives are distancing themselves from hardliners after months of religious and caste-related violence that could hurt their chances in state elections. Vigilantes have carried out, what is this all about? Muslims and lower caste Hindus, you know, in Hinduism there's a caste system, you know. It's like if you're born at the 12th level down, that's just too bad for you, because that means you're meant to be down there in the lower class forever. Well, until you know, go through another life, right? Smuggling cows that are revered by Hindus. Anyway, there's a whole article on it. So if you really need to know about the controversy on cow protection in India, in New Delhi, then go onto the Wall Street Journal's online subscription page and pay money to read about it. Because their online articles generally are not free. You have to subscribe. Maduro, this is Venezuela now, turns to a Spanish Marxist for a miracle. Psst, Maduro, let me give you a little hint. You're not going to get any miracle from a Spanish Marxist, okay? So, Venezuela is in tremendous crisis because they've gone full-blown socialist. So their gross domestic product is plummeting. If you watch this, look at these little charts. What is that racket outside? Somebody's car. That's a scary chart right there, isn't it? I think. The problem with true Marxism is that it does create better equality for the majority of the people. The difficulty with that equality is that everybody is equally terribly impoverished all together, okay? There is no longer any middle class or any products on the shelves or any energy flowing through the electrical grid or any gasoline at the pumps or any food available. In fact, in Venezuela, consumer prices are now at a 700% inflation rate. That's not good. So because Hugo Chavez's policies, this guy's predecessor, failed so terribly and created this terrible situation in Venezuela, there's also virtual anarchy there because the people are so upset. Maduro's philosophy is, let's do more of the same, okay? It's kind of like our government's philosophy on debt. If you have a debt crisis, and it's putting a big crimp on the economy, the solution is to go much deeper into debt. I wonder how that will end. Test for Germany as migrants start school. Okay, there's still a lot of global politics on this page. But look, the story about the page one story about the disgruntled Porsche 911 driver and the irritating air noise in his ear has a nice graphic explaining it. The physics behind the wub sound. I'm gonna have to, being I'm a little bit nerdish in the science department, being rocket science was my business before I retired, a few months ago. I'm gonna have to read this at my leisure so I can understand it better. But I don't think I'm gonna try to put, juice cans on the side of my car or anything like that. to solve the problem. Anyway, it has to do with a headwind, an open window in the back, and a vortex, okay? So, just so you know. And of course, resonance at certain frequencies that are highly irritating to your inner ear. Is there anything interesting in this paper? Walmart seals the deal for Jet.com. I must be out of it, folks, because I have no idea what Jet.com is. Do you? It's an online shopping site, and I kind of stick with Amazon, I think, for the most part. But look at this. Verizon and AT&T hit with lawsuits over 911 fees. Elon Musk's task: create a new market. Elon Musk is the guy, of course, who's the CEO of Tesla. It's arguably the best car in the world, but the problem is they lose money on every car they sell. It's quite expensive to build. So when do they run out? They have to keep borrowing and selling more stock. So one famous guy who shorts the market and short stocks that are overvalued, can't remember his name now, but he said today that Tesla will ultimately go to zero. Right now it's around $230 a share. See, we really can be boring here when we try. Ooh, this isn't good. Chocolate CEO moves fast to fight an industry slowdown. People aren't buying chocolate? Well, in that case, I think what needs to happen is they need to discount it so I can buy some cheap. That's what I think. I'm getting famished. All that time in the hotel room. I'm gonna have a Cheeto, if you don't mind. I hope that crinkling is not too loud. Some people like it. But the problem with this particular camera is that it tries to level the sound. It's an auto level, you know. So it boosts quiet sounds and it reduces loud sounds, but sometimes that creates effects that you don't really want if you're making ASMR videos. Let's see how many calories I'm going to get in this thing. 350 for the whole package. Ooh, of which almost half are fat calories, but there's no cholesterol. That's pretty good, right? Total carbs, got a little bit of dietary fiber and a little bit of protein. It's got some thiamine, some iron, some riboflavin, and some niacin, about 10% of your daily, you know. I'm not going to read all the ingredients, but it's mostly corn-based, you know. So, sort of like a corn chip that was made into a funny shape and then coated with cheese. And there's a new science amongst people trying to figure out what the shape of each Cheeto resembles. Like, here we have, what, a seahorse or something, right? Or the Loch Ness Monster, maybe? You know, something like that. Isn't that a nice looking Cheeto? The camera can't quite focus on it. Maybe if I get it right up close, right there. I don't know. That's very annoying. That would be the, that radio chatter. That would be housekeeping outside my door saying, how come this guy has the do not disturb sign? I'm going to pause till they're done with all that. Okay, I gotta run because I forgot my camera charger on this trip, and I gotta save an hour of battery time for that new baby when she emerges, right? So I'll just give you my usual words of advice, which is don't ASMR and drive. I hope you're relaxed, everybody. All right, bye-bye.